Today, we're bringing 12 Alaska places back to life, chilling locations where ghostly tales and icy history still linger. Number 1. Portlock. On the rocky southern coast of Alaska's Kenai Peninsula lies Portlock, an abandoned fishing and cannery village with a chilling past. In the early 1900s, it bustled with loggers and salmon workers, but for years, strange things were whispered in the community. Hunters and trappers went missing in the dense forests. Some bodies were found dead or washed up in the lagoon, while others vanished without a trace. The villagers believed something was lurking in the wilderness just beyond their homes. Local native stories spoke of Nantiinak, a towering, Bigfoot-like spirit that protected the land. Whether folklore or not, residents described strange noises echoing from the hills, deep growls, whistling, and rocks hurled from unseen hands. Armed hunting parties went searching for answers, but returned shaken, unwilling to talk. By the 1940s, fear gripped the town so tightly that even the church could not calm the panic. In 1950, the entire village left in a hurry. Boats ferried families to nearby communities, leaving behind homes, tools, and even food. Today, the moss-covered ruins stand silent among the spruce trees. Visitors report a heavy, eerie stillness and the unsettling feeling of being watched. Some claim to see dark shapes moving between trees or hear splashes in the cove where no boats pass. Whether the culprit was a wild bear, superstition, or something unknown, Portlock's legend remains one of Alaska's most enduring mysteries. Its empty shore is a reminder of how powerful fear can be and how the vast wilderness sometimes keeps its secrets. Number 2. Eklutna Cemetery. Just outside Anchorage is Eklutna Cemetery, one of the most unique burial sites in North America. Instead of gravestones, tiny brightly painted wooden houses sit above each grave. These spirit houses come from a blend of Russian Orthodox and Athabascan native traditions, meant to shelter the souls of the dead. The colorful site draws visitors from all over, but many say Eklutna also carries an otherworldly presence. The cemetery dates back over a century, and the people buried here include native elders, early settlers, and children lost to epidemics. Locals say the spirits are still near their tiny houses. Visitors at dusk have described sudden cold gusts and soft footsteps among the graves when no one else is there. Some even report faint lights glowing in the windows of the little houses or a shadowy figure watching silently near the wooden cross. One popular tale tells of a woman in traditional clothing seen drifting among the spirit houses late at night. Witnesses describe her as calm, almost protective, before she vanishes into the trees. Far from being frightening, these stories reflect the deep cultural respect for ancestors and the belief that loved ones never truly leave. Eklutna Cemetery remains a peaceful historic site open to respectful visitors. Whether or not you believe in ghosts, its vivid colors and quiet woods feel touched by something beyond the ordinary. The legend of its watchful spirits reminds us that history lives on through the people who built and loved these communities. Number 3. Independence Mine. High in the Talkeetna Mountains sits Independence Mine, now a state historical park. In its heyday during the early 1900s, it was a bustling gold mining camp with bunkhouses, a mill, and tunnels stretching deep into the earth. When the mine shut down suddenly in 1951, workers left behind buildings and tools that still stand today. Along with the history came ghostly tales that make the lonely ruins even more intriguing. Visitors exploring the old bunkhouses and mill have reported strange happenings. Some hear the clink of pickaxes on rock or muffled voices in the empty tunnels. Others glimpse figures in old-fashioned work clothes moving through the fog, only to vanish. The mine's history of avalanches and accidents has led many to believe some miners never left. One story tells of a camper who awoke to see a man outside his tent tipping his hat before fading into the night air. Another describes phantom footsteps crunching in fresh snow when no one else was nearby. The isolation of Hatcher Pass, surrounded by tundra and jagged peaks, only adds to the feeling that the past lingers close. Today, Independence Mine welcomes visitors eager to walk among its silent structures and sweeping mountain views. Whether the ghosts are real or just the imagination stirred by history, the stories keep Alaska's gold rush alive. Standing among the ruins, it's easy to feel you're not alone, that the miners of another time are still at work in the shadows. Number 4. Badarka Road. Near the quiet community of Chugiak lies Badarka Road, a winding wooded stretch that locals whisper about after dark. By day it looks ordinary, lined with spruce trees and homesteads, but at night drivers tell of strange happenings. For years, stories have circulated of sudden cold spots on warm evenings and shadowy figures appearing on the roadside only to vanish when headlights hit them. The unsettling feeling of being watched has earned Badarka Road its eerie reputation. Some of the legends trace back to tragic car accidents along this rural route. Locals claim that at certain hours you can hear phantom footsteps on the pavement or see a lone figure standing near the trees. One tale tells of a hitchhiker in old-fashioned clothes who never speaks and disappears if you glance back. While there are no official records of hauntings, the consistency of these stories has made Badarka a favorite topic among ghost hunters in Alaska. Late-night drivers often say their radios flicker with static or their engines sputter near the same curve, only to run fine moments later. Others describe hearing soft knocks on their car doors when no one is around. Whether these events are tricks of the mind or something more, the heavy silence and dark woods make Badarka Road feel otherworldly when the sun goes down. Today, the road is just another part of Chugiak's landscape, used by locals daily. Yet its legends endure, passed along at bonfires and family gatherings. It's a reminder that even a quiet road can gather ghost stories over time, especially in Alaska's long, dark nights. Number 5. Kennecott Ghost Town. Deep inside Wrangell St. Elias stand the weathered red buildings of Kennecott, once a thriving copper mining town. In the early 1900s, miners flocked here to work in the mill town perched on a cliff. When the copper ran out in the 1930s, the company left suddenly, abandoning machinery, homes, and a hospital. Today, the empty town draws visitors for its history and its hauntings. The Kennecott Hospital is at the center of many ghostly tales. Visitors exploring its halls report hearing unexplained footsteps and distant voices in rooms long empty. Some say they've seen figures in old-time clothing peering from the upper-story windows, even though the floors are unsafe to enter. Stories persist of miners who died in accidents and patients who never left, their spirits still wandering the silent halls. Other guests claim to feel sudden cold drafts in the mill building or hear the clang of machinery that hasn't run in nearly a century. Guides and park rangers, while careful not to exaggerate, admit that the site's isolation and tragic past give it an eerie atmosphere. The contrast of beautiful mountain views with empty, decaying buildings makes Kennecott unforgettable. Now a National Historic Landmark, Kennecott tells the story of Alaska's mining boom. Whether or not you believe in its ghosts, the abandoned town carries the voices of its past. Walking its creaking boardwalks, it's easy to imagine miners and families still lingering, unwilling to let go of the place they once called home. Number 6. Chilkoot Trail. The Chilkoot Trail winds through breathtaking mountains and forests, but behind its beauty is a history of hardship and death. During the Klondike Gold Rush of the late 1890s, thousands of prospectors hauled supplies over this steep pass toward the Yukon. Avalanches, disease, and exhaustion claimed many lives along the way, and their stories gave rise to one of Alaska's most haunted routes. Modern hikers and park rangers have reported strange experiences on the trail. Some hear phantom footsteps crunching in the snow behind them, only to find no one there. Others describe the sound of distant voices or see lantern-like lights moving on foggy nights. There are even tales of ghostly figures in old prospector clothes trudging silently up the pass before vanishing into the mist. One of the most chilling spots is the area near the scales, where pack animals and men collapsed under brutal loads. Visitors have felt sudden waves of dread or seen shadowy forms along the trail. The harsh history of the gold rush seems to linger, as if the spirits of those who perished still walk the route they never finished. Today, the Chilkoot Trail is a protected historic site and a challenging hike for adventurers from around the world. Its ghostly reputation adds to its mystique, blending Alaska's rugged history with legend. As you hike through the mist-covered mountains, it's easy to feel you're sharing the trail with those who came before, their stories carried on the cold mountain wind. Number 7. Golden North Hotel. In the heart of Skagway, the Golden North Hotel still stands as a reminder of Alaska's gold rush days. Built during the 1890s, it was once a luxurious stop for stampeders heading to the Klondike. Among the countless travelers was a young woman named Mary, who arrived with her fiancé. He promised to return from the Yukon with gold, and they planned to marry in the hotel. But the harsh wilderness claimed many lives, and Mary's love never came back. Heartbroken, Mary stayed in her upstairs room, waiting for weeks, dressed in her wedding gown as if he might return at any moment. When hotel staff finally entered, they discovered her lifeless body still wearing the bridal dress. Her story spread quickly, and with it came tales that her spirit remained. Guests began whispering about a pale figure drifting silently through the halls, her veil trailing behind her. Visitors have reported cold chills in the old rooms, and waking to see a woman in white watching quietly before vanishing. Staff members claim the upper floors have strange drafts and flickering lights, even when the building is locked. The legend of the Golden North's bride isn't told to frighten so much as to mourn. A love story frozen in time among the snow-capped peaks. Today, the hotel is one of Skagway's most famous landmarks, visited by travelers curious about its history. Whether or not you see the bride in white, her tale adds a haunting note to the city's past. It's a reminder that the Klondike's riches came at great cost, and some hearts are still waiting for a reunion that never came. Number 8. Kenai Fjords National Park, Coastline. Kenai Fjords National Park is one of Alaska's wildest treasures, with glaciers spilling into icy bays and cliffs rising above stormy seas. Its beauty draws visitors from around the world, but along the coastline are whispers of spirits tied to the sea. Native Alaskan traditions speak of lost souls wandering near the water, and the region's history of shipwrecks adds to the legend. Many sailors perished in sudden storms, and some say their cries still echo across the waves. Fishermen and kayakers have described eerie experiences near Resurrection Bay. Some claim to hear voices calling for help when no boats are nearby. Others report glowing orbs of light dancing above the cliffs, or strange shadowy shapes moving along the shoreline. The frigid water has claimed countless lives, and those who hear the cries say it feels like a plea from another time. It's not only sound and sight. Visitors talk about sudden cold spots and an overwhelming feeling of being watched by unseen eyes when paddling near remote coves. The mix of raw wilderness, tragic history, and the sheer isolation makes the coastline feel alive with memory. Even on calm days, there's a weight in the air, as if the past is whispering through the wind. Kenai Fjords remains a breathtaking park full of adventure, but its ghost stories add a layer of mystery. The thought that voices of lost sailors might drift across the icy waves makes its towering glaciers and wild seas even more unforgettable. In Alaska, the land and sea remember, and sometimes they share their stories with those who listen. Number 9. Alaskan Hotel and Bar. Juneau's Alaskan Hotel and Bar opened in 1913, built to serve miners and travelers seeking fortune in the capital city. With its ornate woodwork and old-fashioned charm, it's a historic gem, and also one of Alaska's most haunted places. The most famous legend tells of a miner's wife who stayed behind at the hotel while her husband worked the gold fields. Alone and desperate, her life took a tragic turn, and her story became forever tied to the building. Guests and staff have reported encounters with a woman in vintage clothing walking the upper halls. Some say she appears in mirrors or doorways before vanishing. Bartenders tell of glasses moving on their own and cold breezes sweeping through empty rooms. Her presence isn't menacing, but the sadness of her story seems to linger in the creaking floorboards and faded wallpaper. Other spirits are rumored to join her. Visitors have described phantom footsteps, laughter when no one is around, and the strange feeling of being watched. With over a century of history, from rowdy miners to curious tourists, the hotel has plenty of stories etched into its walls. It's easy to imagine that some guests never checked out. Today, the Alaskan Hotel and Bar is both a bustling business and a piece of living history. Visitors come for its drinks and music, but many leave with an unforgettable ghost story. Whether you believe in spirits or not, the legend of the Alaskan Hotel proves that history doesn't always rest quietly. It sometimes walks the halls at night. Number 10. Russian Bishop's House. In Sitka stands one of the oldest surviving buildings from Alaska's Russian era, the Russian Bishop's House. Built in the 1840s, it once served as a home and school for the Russian Orthodox clergy. Today it's a museum, but visitors and staff often whisper that the house holds more than artifacts. With nearly 2 centuries of history, its walls have heard countless prayers, lessons, and perhaps even the quiet steps of those who never left. Many visitors describe feeling watched as they wander its halls. Footsteps echo on the wooden floors when no one is around, and doors creak open on their own. Some claim to see a shadowy figure in clerical robes moving silently between rooms, vanishing when approached. Whether it's a former bishop still tending to his flock, or simply the weight of history, the feeling is hard to ignore. Employees have also reported cold spots and the faint scent of incense lingering in empty rooms. One story tells of a visitor who heard soft chanting in the chapel, only to find it empty. The building's age and its role as a spiritual and educational center give these tales a sense of reverence rather than fear, as if the spirits are guarding the house's legacy. The Russian Bishop's House is now a proud piece of Sitka's heritage, open to the public as part of the National Park Service. Its ghostly reputation adds to its mystique, inviting visitors to step back in time. Whether you believe in spirits or not, walking through its halls feels like touching a living piece of Alaska's past. Number 11. Chena Hot Springs Road Lights. North of Fairbanks winds a long, lonely stretch known as Chena Hot Springs Road. Famous for its aurora views and natural hot springs, the road also carries an unsettling legend. For decades, drivers have reported strange lights appearing along the dark, forested route. Unlike the northern lights dancing above, these mysterious orbs float low to the ground, often darting across the road before vanishing. Stories of these ghost lights date back generations. Some say they follow vehicles, bobbing alongside cars like curious lanterns. Others describe seeing them hover among the trees, pulsing like fireflies far too large to be natural. When drivers stop to investigate, the lights usually blink out, leaving behind only the vast silence of the Alaskan wilderness. Local legends tie the lights to spirits of those who perished on the road or long before settlers arrived. A few claim the lights appear near old accident sites, while others believe they are trickster spirits from native lore. Whatever the cause, the lights have become part of Fairbanks' haunted folklore, with countless sightings but no clear explanation. Today, travelers still watch for the lights when driving to the hot springs on winter nights. Whether they are reflections, natural phenomena, or something unearthly, they add an eerie thrill to the journey. The next time you see a glowing orb on that road, you might wonder if you're witnessing one of Alaska's oldest ghostly mysteries. Number 12. Hotel Captain Cook. Anchorage's Hotel Captain Cook is a symbol of modern Alaska, built in the 1960s and named after the famous explorer. With its elegant rooms and stunning views, it's an unlikely setting for a ghost story, but visitors and staff have long spoken of strange happenings. One of the hotel's towers, in particular, is said to host an uninvited guest, a spirit who makes its presence known in unsettling ways. Guests on the upper floors report hearing footsteps pacing the halls late at night when no one is there, Some have seen a woman's reflection in their mirrors, even when they were alone. Housekeepers tell of rooms where lights turn on and off by themselves, or where sudden cold spots appear without reason. One of the most repeated tales involves a guest who stayed alone and awoke to find a woman in white standing silently at the end of his bed. She vanished in an instant, leaving the guest shaken but unharmed. While her identity remains a mystery, some speculate she is tied to a tragic event on the property's grounds before the hotel was built. Despite the hauntings, the Hotel Captain Cook remains one of Anchorage's most beloved landmarks. Its ghost stories add character to its luxury, blending modern Alaska with its mysterious side. For those who check in, the Spirit in White is just another reminder that even the newest cities carry echoes of the past. If you enjoyed the video, please click the like button. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. See you in the next one.